It didn't go well for the king of big screens. You know, that's an O'Reilly Auto Parts now. So yeah, the king has been dethroned.
I think he's dead.
Is he really?
I think he died.
Wow, went really badly.
Called the king of
Good morning and welcome to the Joseph Apartments Talk Show, where our motto is we make our mistakes in one take or less. We have a great group today. I want to introduce Jessica and Elle from Home Guard Home Warranty.
Hi.
Whoever wants to talk first, tell us what you guys do and why would an apartment owner or a homeowner need you guys' services?
Okay. So with Home Guard Home Warranty, we do offer limited roof leak coverage on all of our standard plans and our other plans as well. You get up to $1,500 in limited roof leak coverage, and all of our plans also include the rekeying of the locks, so up to 6 locks and 4 keys as well. And then we offer the executive program. So who's going over the contract with the buyers? Most likely no one is, or maybe the agents are, and everyone's confused. So with the executive program, we have somebody in-house who goes over the information with the buyer. That way they can ask any questions they may have and everything's clear and everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, it's nice. That's the expectation for the potential homeowner. We offer in escrow pricing. Also, people that have been in their home 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They can also get a home warranty, or let's say they've allowed their coverage to lapse for whatever reason with the previous company. They can renew with us. So it's really great. It's really simple. Our 13-month plan is great because we're giving an extra month for free. Considering our climate, the pandemic that we're in, we're trying to, maximize our coverage and lower our pricing for consumers.
So there are now, after the pandemic, 13 months in the year.
Yes.
It's been more than
Yes.
and 25 hours in the day.
Things are changing.
Only in America.
Things are changing.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And how do we get a hold of you? Or how do we get a hold of you?
So all of our direct information is here on our business cards. Cell phones, we don't turn them off. We work our real estate hours, so we don't work at 8 to 5. We work 7 days out of the week, 365. So we're our information is available online on all social media platforms and on our business cards.
Could I get your cell phone number and your email address?
Of course. So my cell phone number is 714-366-1352. And my email address is ebautista@hghw.com.
Thank you. I'll put that on our show notes as well. Thank you for
Excellent.
coming.
Thanks for
And
having
thanks
us.
for bringing lunch or breakfast or
Yep.
whatever it was.
Our
Whatever
pleasure.
it is.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
You make your way to the kitchen area.
You have to be here on time.
Thank you for
Our
your
next guest,
generosity.
order. Our next guest is Eric Francisconi, and Eric is a specialist in contract law, and he has helped our office as well as given us business clients, and so we're very appreciative of that, Eric. I have about 1,000 friends who are realtors, so I'd like to have you tell us what our realtor friends can benefit from your services. And also we have apartment owners and residents, so there's a whole scope of people that might be interested in what you do, so take it away, Eric.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad to refer clients here. I know they're in good hands when I do. We represent, as Jim said, we represent some apartment owners. We work in the labyrinth of laws that have existed already and that are changing all the time. And I even brought, some of the things we deal with as to the issues that arise with property owners and landlords as to things with the pandemic and what you can claim now. Courts are starting to open again slowly. Things are starting to go to trial again. But there's all sorts of laws as to what you can and can't do for evictions and what rent you can collect and what notices you have to serve, and we can help landlords with that. We also do advise realtors and brokers as to disputes between themselves, as to claims brought against them, and as to any number of issues having to do with real estate and contracts.
How do we get a hold of you, Eric?
Best way, I'll give you my bat phone number. It is a direct dial that goes right to me. It is 888-348-1020, or you can email me at efrancisconi, that's EFRANCISCONI @fyklaw.com.
Eric, in my conversation with apartment owners, when it comes to the new statewide rent control laws or the new coronavirus laws, the consensus is we're just going to put our heads in the sand. We don't know what's going on. We're just gonna operate like we've always been operating, like this. What do you?
That's a really
What's your legal
bad
advice to
idea.
that statement?
To use a term of art, that's a terrible idea. No, there's a lot that has to be done, and if you make a misstep on any number of things, it can not only stop you from being able to go forward with an eviction, but can actually result in monetary damages against you.
So if a realtor has a question about a client or their own business, they can give you a call, and a landlord can give you a call. Your phone number one more time, and email.
Sure, it's 888-348-1020, and the email address is efrancisconi@fyklaw.com.
In a national poll, 4 out of 5 of my clients prefer to use my son Chris in transactions, which is very disconcerting to me. Chris, what's going on in the world of residential real estate? I do apartments. He does single family. Chris, what is new? Anything going on with your own career that people should know about?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest question right now is when is the housing market going to crash? How soon, if at all? And you can Google why it's going to crash and why it's not going to crash, and you're going to get articles on both. So no one exactly knows. I'm in the camp that it's going to slow down, but still be a hot seller's market even at the end of the year. The housing market is not fueled by subprime loans and zero down loans, so it's a different factors at play. Home equity is at close to record highs, so you don't have the same variables that you did back in 2007. So if you're a buyer, I would suggest working on your credit and saving, and towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, you'll be in a better position financially and market-wise. So that's what I would suggest. If you're a seller, not panic sell, but I would sell at sooner the better. Then again, where are you going to go? That's the question. So different factors at play, but that's the latest.
How do we get a hold of you?
562-760-4587, and then Chris Joseph Real Estate at gmail.com.
World's second greatest realtor. Next, we have Phil Atwan.
Who's the first?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Phil Atwan. This is an unruly crowd today. Phil, tell us what's going on. A lot of scares about the capital gains, about the 1031 itself. How many of those scares are true, and what advice do you have for an apartment owner watching this morning?
Good question. We need to be vigilant, and I'd like to have everyone who's listening to this, if you can write this on your email, your YouTube, 1031 taxreform.com. So it's 1031taxreform.com. If you go to that website, just scroll down on the left, you'll see that you can actually touch this link that will create a letter in your name to your congressional leaders by simply putting on your home address. And that will go to your House of Representative leaders. It will also go to your senatorial leaders. And it will express to them in a respectful way that this is really, really a bad idea. It's going to cause massive slowdown in the real estate market. And the bottom line is that we're very concerned. There's 3 or 4 really big things that we're very concerned about right now. Number one, they've been eliminating the 1031 exchange. There's been rumor of a compromise of a $500,000 maximum gain to be able to exchange. But the problem with that is that President Obama wanted to do that at $1 million. So I don't know if he's trying to achieve that by negotiating up or whatever, but the bottom line, it's just going to slow down the investor market, which employs realtors, escrows, title insurance people,
Home warranty.
lawyers.
Credit people.
Transfer taxes. So that means the counties that get transfer taxes won't get that money. And they're going to be yelling and screaming, to the state government for help. The cities that get transfer taxes, that will also slow down. It's really a bad idea. And the other notion that I think the administration has been trying to portray is that this is nothing but a tax break for the rich. That is so far from the truth, it's unbelievable. A lot of us who are not rich, we don't make these huge salaries or whatever. The bottom line is it allows me to take my little rental and just move it to another little rental so I can defer the capital gains tax. And ultimately, it creates more revenue for the county in terms of Prop 19, higher property tax. So the bottom line is, I think they're really misunderstanding this whole thing, or they're pretty intent on painting it in a very dark light. The second item is a raising of, right now, the cap on long-term capital gains taxes is 20%. Our friends in Washington, I use that word loosely, would like to change that to 39.6%, which is effectively a doubling of the capital gains tax.
Wow.
The other third item that is of great concern is the elimination of the stepped-up basis. The stepped-up basis is what happens when your spouse passes, or you pass, and it goes down to your heirs. And the bottom line is the government always reassesses in some capacity, depending if you have a trust and how investing is worded and whatnot. But it allows the person, the beneficiary, to inherit the property at a new basis based on the fair market value at the date of the the owner's death. What happens is, or the trustee's death, the bottom line is that will be eliminated, which means people will inherit properties that they may not even be able to pay the taxes on when they sell it. For example, if they've been using a reverse mortgage, or if they've taken money out, they're going to have mortgage over basis pretty much. And what's going to happen is they're going to have to dig out of pocket, get ready, but they're going to have to dig out of pocket to sell the property just to pay the taxes. Folks, this is an assault on real estate in the United States of America. And I don't say that lightly either. So please go to 1031taxreform.com. And if you'd like, I've got a wonderful YouTube that goes over all this as well. And that's a long one, so you can just type in my name.
Phil is always here to brighten up our day. And give us- How do we get a hold of you with more bad news?
JIMJOS. Phil Atwan at gmail.com, PHILATWAN@gmail.com, or 213-479-8800.
And your company website.
exchangeresources.net.
What are the odds of these passing? Is it just among the industry?
I
Is it
think it's
50-50?
close. I think it's close because, remember, the House is separated by 8 votes. The Senate is 50-50, not counting the vice presidents. And there's some conservative Democrats out there that are saying this is not a good thing. This is going to slow down the real estate economy. It could actually make prices go up because there will be less people selling their properties because they don't want to pay the tax.
Phil sounds like a political talk show host, but what he really does is an exchange intermediary. So you sell your apartment building, you sell your house, and then you want to avoid the capital gains tax, you have to use his company, which is an exchange company.
You don't avoid it, but you defer it. So let's not talk like the president does. It's actually deferred. You will pay the tax at some point unless you pass and you get your
But
heirs
you're
get a
required by
stepped-up
law
basis.
to use an intermediary.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Last and least, we have Dean.
I'm sorry.
Dean, what is going on? I'm sorry that Phil hogged all your prime airtime. But,
Well, how about this? To start off, I'm Dean Tapie. I'm the owner of Pacific West Credit. We're a licensed credit repair company. And to Phil, this is Memorial Day weekend, so happy Memorial Day.
Thank
But there's a lot going on in the credit space. As you know, money is cheap, but if you don't have the score, you can't obtain it. So starting, I think, on June 1st, July 1st, we're gonna, the forbearance and the rent forgiveness is gonna come to fruition, right? Meaning, does that mean the banks and the landlords report late to your credit report? That's something that everybody should be concerned about and check on. You can go to www.annualcreditreport.com and get a free credit report every month through Experian since the pandemic. I recommend everybody do that because there's no charge, excuse me. Also, if anybody has, I'm writing notes here, sorry. If anybody has auto pays, banks are, you're looking at the auto pays with automatically deductions either on cars and credit cards. Some of the auto pays are not going through. In other words, the consumer thinks that their payment has been made and it has not been made. And then if they check on this month or next month, the first of the next month, they're going to get a 30-day late. Always make sure that you are on tab and on point with your auto pays.
How do we get a hold of you, Dean?
My cell number is 714-323-5538, and it's Dean Tapey at PacificWestCredit.com. Thank
And
you.
your webpage?
PacificWestCredit.com.
Thank you for watching this month's episode. It is the 51st episode. We're very proud of our ratings and that we're still on the air. That's a good news, a good sign. We're doing well in the key demographic. Bored people with nothing to do in their lives. So, thank you for watching. We'll see you next month.